Hello, cinema friends. I'm Markus Seaberry,
And I'm Gale Carson. Welcome to another edition of Cinema Sundry.
and today we've got the long-awaited sequel to Top Gun as we review Top Gun Maverick. Okay, now before we get into our review of Top Gun Maverick, I want to remind you about our rating system. All right, now the top score there is R2. That is for those top shelf, top tier projects, normally some of the best projects you've seen all year.
And middling, it is just one of the run of the mill movies. It's just average. You could take it or leave it.
And heck, it's for those terrible, dismal, abysmal, god awful projects that probably shouldn't have been made in the first place. And now that you know our ratings, let's get into the rundown. Okay, in Top Gun, Tom Cruise's character Maverick is back, and this time he is leading an all new group of young fighter pilots and training them for a dangerous mission. And now let's talk about script and acting. Well, okay, Gail, how'd you feel about the script?
Well, I thought the script was very well done. I saw the first Top Gun in 1986 and I loved it, but this one I loved it even more. It was very extremely well written. How they brought in the new young folks and tied them in with Tom Cruise, who of course is older now, and him getting accustomed to working with the young folks, and how it went from him being great and wonderful and working with the top gun folks, and then them going on this mission and them learning to work well together because they were going on a mission in which they could possibly not return. The way they meshed them together and the way they did have challenges among one another, but they ended up being a team that supported one another. And how the movie ultimately ended with Tom, having a very good supportive relationship with his best friend's son, who had a major problem with him regarding some things, with his father, and also him keeping him out of a class. But I thought the way they tied everything together was very well written.
Yeah, I thought it was a good script. I guess my only gripes and their minor gripes. I want to preface that this won't be a assassination of Top Gun Maverick by any means, but I thought that third act was just really wild and fanciful. But I mean, I guess it is a movie, and
Mhm.
I was just disappointed that, like, with the exception of like Maverick, Penny, and Rooster, like nobody else really had development. They were like, all right, we're here and we like flying planes. Teach us, Maverick. But again, like I said, these are minor complaints. Like, the script was just fun, probably more fun than I've had in a movie theater setting in a long, long time. Um, and of course, we got to talk about the actors. We got to get into this fantastic cast. And
Yeah,
of
they,
course,
they,
first,
they had a good lineup, a really good lineup of actors.
yeah,
Very good.
and, and of course, first we have got to talk about Tom Cruise. He is an acting OG. You know him from Last Samurai, the Mission Impossible series, the first Top Gun, Minority Report, and he is Maverick. How'd you feel about Tom Cruise's Maverick? Yeah.
Well, I like I said, he did an excellent job in the first one, and I think he went over the top on this one. I think he did a greater stretch of his acting abilities. But I mean, he and the movie kept my attention from beginning to end. I thought the way he, dealt with the younger, uh, Top Gun students, as they were. I thought he did a very good job. I love Tom Cruise's acting. No matter what he's in, I watch it because his acting is just really. I like his acting.
I agree. I
I've
thought,
not seen him in anything that I have not liked.
well, I could probably say that, but then again, I haven't seen like all of Tom Cruise's stuff.
Well, I
Matter of fact,
have.
hey, and I respect it. I mean, the guy's just good. He's just flat out good. He is a phenomenal, amazing talent, and I mean, he nailed Maverick the first time. This is like a older, wiser Maverick,
His acting.
but still pretty fearless. And like I said, I enjoyed his performance. And next up, we gotta uh talk about his romantic interest, Jennifer Connelly. She played Penny Benjamin. Now people may know her from Labyrinth back in the day and The Rocketeer. How did you feel about Jennifer Connelly's portrayal of Penny?
Well, I thought I thought she did pretty good. Her role with her daughter was kind of interesting. Um, I mean, it kind of didn't really seem realistic on some of the parts when, how long she took to get back with him, her interest in him, uh, and how they ultimately ended up together. I mean, she was okay. She's no big deal about her, but she was okay, you know.
Okay. Well, I like Jennifer Connelly. I may be biased. I recently saw Labyrinth for the first time last year, and it was covered in the Memphis Flyer, their Never Seen It section. I liked her in that, and she's in one of my favorite movies,
Oh,
The
is she?
Rocketeer. Oh yeah, she's in The Rocketeer. I love that film. I remember seeing that with my parents when I was 15. Um,
Well, see, I did see that. I didn't. I never watched it.
many moons ago. I thought she did good as Penny. I like how they, tried to give her a life outside of Tom Cruise. She owned the bar and she had the daughter. So, she's an entrepreneur and she's strong. And, I love the fact, she wasn't just like waiting around for his call or something,
I guess I just didn't see a major stretch with her. She was. It was just. It was okay. Her acting in this movie was okay. There was nothing major, nothing dramatic. You know.
yeah. Um, okay, and then next up we gotta talk about Miles Teller. Now he plays Rooster. Rooster is the son of Goose. You may remember
Mhm.
Goose is played by Anthony Edwards in the first Top Gun movie, and his character dies during an exercise. Now Miles Teller, you may know him from That Awkward Moment, Whiplash, and he was in the last Fantastic Four movie. How'd you feel about Miles Teller as Rooster?
Now, well, as Rooster, I thought he did a really good job. I liked his role as Rooster. It seemed realistic. His anger towards, you know, uh, his anger towards Tom Cruise's character Maverick seemed very realistic. But and also even at the end when they had the save me role part and he seemed to accept him, but it didn't really seem all of the way, which is kind of more realistic. So I thought he did a really good job throughout, playing the role that he played. He was angry with him. He stayed angry with him to the end of the movie, really, until they had the mission where one saved the other, uh,
Yeah.
and uh, and he forgave him, but it still seemed like he didn't give him all of himself. So I thought he
Yeah.
played a good role. I thought it was realistic.
I agree. It seems like there was resentment toward Tom Cruise because he was involved in the death of his father, Goose.
Hmm.
Then there seemed to be even more resentment when we learned that Tom Cruise kind of held him back from being accepted into different classes and different things,
Hmm.
kind of slowing down his career progression. And
But he did that out of caring for him.
yeah,
Even
yeah,
and Rooster never really understood that.
yeah,
Even
yeah. I
at the
mean,
end, I don't think he understood it or accepted it.
yeah, Maverick's motives were good, but Rooster was like, "You screwed me over,
Hmm.
and you got my daddy killed, so
I mean,
I
he
don't
just
like
had a
you at
lot of
all."
anger issues toward him.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But
he played the role really well.
oh yes, yeah. I think Miles is one of the best of kind of this crop of up and coming talents. Just sorry about that Fantastic Four movie, buddy, but you're still in here. Uh, and let's see. Oh, and next we got to talk about yes, Bashir Saladin. Now this guy he plays Hondo, and he's an actor and writer. He acted and wrote on things like Southside and Sherman Showcase. What did you think about Bashir's Hondo?
Well, I didn't think he had a real major role in the movie, but the part that he played, I think he did. I think he did okay. I mean, he kept my interest. He didn't bore me. But he didn't. For me, he did not have a really major role in the movie. It was really, Tom Cruise, Maverick, Rooster, of course, Val Kilmer's role. It wasn't much of a role, but it was a major hard string pull kind of role.
All right,
And
yeah,
so the other Top Gun students, their roles just weren't that major.
yeah. They like I said before, they pretty much have no character development. But I mean, this guy's a comedy writer and a comedy actor, and it seems like his job was comic relief, which he did. And I thought he did well. I mean, yeah, it wasn't.
He did do well in the part that he played.
Yeah, yeah, um, yeah. I didn't think it
He
was
didn't he play an insecure.
the HBO series.
Well, no, maybe I got him confused with someone else.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe he was on there. Like he wasn't a regular cast member. I mean, like he might have been on there. Like I said, I know him from Sherman Showcase. That that's kind of like a parody of Soul Train show that that him and his friend made, and they made a show about the South Side of Chicago called Southside.
Okay.
That's on HBO Max. Like I said, solid performance. Kind of kept came with the laughs. And the last person I want to talk about here is good old Jon Hamm. Now you know him from Mad
Oh
Men,
Lord.
30
Oh.
Rock, uh, and he was Maverick's commanding officer, Cyclone.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about Jon Hamm?
Well, I like him. I watched him in Mad Men. I think he's a very good actor. I think the role that he played in Top Gun Maverick was very good. It was very realistic. You know, I didn't like the character, but he played the character well.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I get in those arguments with people like my wife. Like she'll be like, "I didn't like him." I'm like, "Well, he was a villain, so he did
Well,
good."
no, yeah, and I understand it. Sometimes you can not like the character, but they can play the character real well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Like there's one lady that played in a series that I watched that about Tyler Perry. She played the role so well as a bad character. When she came to Memphis, I didn't even want to meet her because I just said she played it too well. She probably was like that in real life.
yeah, I understand. I too have had that theory about several actors. I mean, like I said, Jon Hamm is fantastic. I was a Mad Men watcher like every week. I
Yeah,
DVR'd
I
it.
like him. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean
I
I don't.
mean,
His characters are interesting, and I don't like a lot about his characters, but he plays them extremely well.
yeah, and I mean, Cyclone didn't like Maverick, but I think deep down, Cyclone realized like he is my best hope of doing this mission. So I'm going to tolerate him and deal with him, I don't. But I don't really have to like him. And
Yeah.
like I said, just another solid performance by Jon Hamm. I really haven't seen him do a bad performance.
I haven't either.
I've even seen them host Saturday Night Live. It make me laugh. Uh, all right, so we got our actors out of the way. Now we got to talk about director's technique. The director's name is Joseph Kosinski, and he did another long-awaited sequel in Tron Legacy, and he also did Only the Brave. Um,
Mhm.
I thought he did a good job. I mean, it's straight, action movie stuff. A lot of explosions and planes, and just high action and danger. And I love the fact, and I'm assuming this was probably due to Tom Cruise's influence as well, that there's no green screen when the actors are in planes. That is all real life, real time in the cockpit, and I I thought he shot it beautifully. It just looks amazing, and it just seems like they were true to the original while still telling a new story. What did you think about Joseph
Well, I
Kosinski's
thought he did a
direction?
good job. Yeah, I thought he did a good job of with the script, with the directing. And when I watched the movie, I mean, it was a little over 2 hours, but it didn't seem like it because it was so action packed. And it just kept my attention the entire time. And when a movie keeps my attention the entire time, I take it as the director did an excellent job. The actors were very good, did a good job, and it was action packed. And it just like I said, it was he did a good job with directing. The all of the planes that you described, the attire, the everything that goes into making the appearance of a movie great. I think he did.
I agree.
And right, I mean, right now they are projecting that Top Gun will make about $1 billion worldwide. That speaks a lot for the directing and the acting and producing of this movie.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Well, all right. Next, we got to talk about sentiment and rating.
Okay.
And Gail, if you would, please give me your sentiment and rating about Top Gun Maverick.
Okay, for Top Gun Maverick, I gave it a tour. It is top rated as the name. Uh, I just, I will go see it again because it was very good. Some movies I watch one time and that's it, but this one I would go see more than once. And I have recommended others to go see it because it is very good.
Interesting, interesting. Well, let's see. My sentiment when the film ended, I was happy. Like I said, this reminded me of the films I used to watch in the '80s. It is not a very complex or complicated film. It's like, hey, let's fly this mission and fight those guys. They're the enemy, and let's get them. And like I said, my two gripes were just no character development for I guess, the young fighter pilots, with the
Yeah.
exception of Rooster. And like I said, in third act, I was like, wow, this is kind of unbelievable. But I was like, it's fun, and like I said, just a near perfect film. And I did not expect that, especially after all the delays and pushbacks. I think this film was pushed back like 2 years. Um, I it it far exceeded all of my expectations, and I'm jumping out the window, guys. I'm giving this one an auteur.
Well, thank you, because I think it deserves two tours.
Look at that. Me and you agreeing on something.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see how many times that's gonna happen. Well, all right. I guess that means we're gonna wrap up this edition of Cinesundry. And remember, guys, in closing, we always ask that you would like the video, comment on the video, and subscribe to the On Location Memphis YouTube channel. And always, guys, please remember, take some time and treat yourself to a movie. Uh, I've been Markus Seaberry.
And I am Gale Jones Carson. Go out and see Top Gun. It's worth it.
See you next time.